welcome back to Handmade Not Hallmark. I'm Andy here. We are on card number 7 of my Christmas in July series, and I just had to break out the shimmer powders one more time, and I can't get enough of these. They are so beautiful and fun to play with, and you can create some really beautiful, simple cards with just a little bit of drying time and a little bit of patience, and you can have such a beautiful result. I hope you enjoy this card as much as I do. Let's get into it. For my card today, I'm using the Lined Ornaments background stamp from Simon Says, and I have a piece of Canson XL watercolor paper here. And I have it pre-cut to the size that I want for my card. It's a little bit smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm gonna do some heat embossing on it, and I think this is the best way to get a variety of colors with these shimmer powders with a background stamp. So I'm just stamping it down with some Simon's clear ink, and I'm going to heat emboss with white embossing powder. This is going to create kind of like little wells of area for the kind of the shimmer powders in the water to lay in. And like I mentioned, I think that this is the best way to get a variety of colors with these shimmer powders, because once you put down the colors and you spray it with the water, you just have to let it set and walk away. I did this card, or I guess this panel of cards, several times. I did this one for this card, and then I just played around with the shimmer powders with the same kind of stamping, and I got a different look every single time that I did it. So that's why I think these shimmer powders are so fun to play with, because you don't get the same result whenever you use them. You get different color combinations, different way that the color lays. It is so fun to play with. And I couldn't stop it. I was going through all of my background stamps and just stamping a bunch and playing with the colors, and it was so much fun. Once I had my embossing powder on my background, I went ahead and heat embossed it. So it's white on white, so you don't really see anything right away. It's not until you get the shimmer powders and the water on that you really see the shapes come alive. And I think this ornament stamp set is perfect for this, because it really, because ornaments come in different colors, and I think this was a fun way to use this. Now, I tried using the sticky mats from Pretty Pink Posh to hold this down. It worked out pretty good. I personally like the kind of taping it down on all 4 sides. I feel like you get it to lay a little bit flatter. Regardless, we're going to go in and start with our powders. I'm using Cherry Bomb, Blue Blitz, and Solar Flare, and these are perfect primary colors. You get so many colors when you use just these 3. It is the perfect rainbow of color. It turns out so beautiful, and again, just playing around with these shimmer powders really helps you kind of practice, how much to put down, how much water, But the key is to really, you have to let it alone. You have to let it sit. Don't mess with it. Don't play with it. Just leave it be. That is kind of the hardest part for me, is just setting it there and walking away from it. It's such a surprise whenever it's done drying and you see what it creates. So big tip, just leave it be. Walk away and let it alone. I set it off to the side to dry completely, and I came back after a couple of hours, and I was so surprised and stunned by how beautiful this turned out. It looked absolutely amazing, and I love these shimmer powders so much I just can't stop playing with them. To finish off this card and to create it into something somewhat simple, I didn't want to really cover up that background a whole lot. I really wanted it to be the star of the show. So I just found a die set here. This is the Merry and Bright from Simon Says, and I just die cut it 3 times from some white cardstock, and I'm just going to stack it up on top of each other. And then I'm going to take the outline bubble that comes with this stamp set, and I'm going to cut it out of some vellum. If you've been following me for a while now, you know that this is one of my new favorite ways to add greetings, especially with the vellum, because vellum you can see the adhesive through. So doing this new technique that I found with the glue stick is so fun and so easy. You don't have to have a whole bunch of extra tools or equipment. You don't have to have another type of adhesive or anything like that. A simple glue stick works out perfectly. Gonna get the rest of this greeting attached here and stacked up, and we'll go ahead and get our vellum pieces ready to go. and get those adhered together. I chose to do 3 layers of vellum just because I wanted it to be somewhat see-through, but I didn't want the Merry and Bright to be lost in all of that color in the background, but I also didn't want to cover it up completely. So that's why I chose to do the 3 layers of vellum. I felt like it was a perfect combination. And then I just adhered it down using the same liquid glue that I used to stack the greeting together, flat on the base. And it turns out to be a really simple card. I think that you could do this as another sort of mass production idea. Do a whole bunch of backgrounds using the shimmer powders and any of the background stamps that you might have in your stash. Heat emboss and stamp a whole bunch, lay them all out, and just go to town with the shimmer powders and let them sit and walk away. You could get a variety of backgrounds to use for some clean and simple cards by just adding a simple greeting on the top. You know, I think it would make for a really fun gift set. If you wanted to gift somebody some cards, I think it would be so fun. For the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp that same image on the inside using some fog ink. This is also from Simon, another one of my favorite styles and techniques to finish off some cards. Just to kind of bring it all together. Again, I think this would be so fun to do as a mass production and as a card gift set. It would be, I think would be a really fun gift as well. Once I have that done, I'm going to adhere my main colorful panel down with some foam tape just to add a tiny bit of dimension. This is a somewhat flat, simple card. There's not a whole lot going on. The star of the show is, again, the shimmer powders and the background stamp, so I didn't want to add too much to it to kind of distract away from that. Get everything adhered down here, and we can add our greeting to the front of our panel as well. Get this lined up as best I can. My card panel was a little off, but I just got it adhered down as best as I could. You don't really notice it too much with the frame, but I wasn't super concerned about it. Now I did have a little bit of rub off just because more of the areas that had more of the shimmer powder, they kind of retain some of that shimmer a little bit. So if you do rub your hands on it, it does kind of come off a little bit. So just keep that in mind. But after a while, I think that really does set and settle. I wasn't super concerned about it, so just be aware that that sometimes can happen. Once I had that Merry and Bright greeting attached down, I decided I wanted to go in with my shimmer pen just to add a tiny bit more shimmer to my greeting. There's a lot going on in the background, so I wanted the greeting to kind of match a little bit. After I had that completed, I went in with some, I think they're iridescent flat sequins. I'm not 100% sure where they're from. I think they might be from Simon. And I wanted to add just a few around the greeting. Again, just to add a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of interest. You could totally leave these off. You could leave the card just like this. But I have them in my stash and I haven't used them a whole lot, so I decided to try them out. Just adhering them down with some Barely Arts adhesive. And my big noggin, again, gets in the way. I am so sorry. I always forget that it's there, and I really need to just make sure I have a reminder to myself to, hey, back up a little bit. Get these last ones adhered, and this will finish up this card for today. I really hope you enjoyed this shimmery ornaments background. I really had so much fun creating this. It was such a surprise waiting for it to dry and seeing the wonderful results that you can get from it. If you like the video, please hit the like and consider hitting the subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos here at my YouTube channel and during my Christmas in July series. I appreciate all of your support and all of your comments, and I can't wait to share with you the next one. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you again soon. Bye!
On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.